Hey everybody, it's Lori from the Wildlife here. I know I haven't videoed in such a long time because things happen, life happens. I've been so busy trying to keep up with these junk journals that it's like, excuse me, I just don't have time to turn this thing on. But while I'm just sitting here and letting my brain float on putting this signature together, I thought I would just turn this on and just talk about what I'm doing and seeing if my thought processes and creativity can pull together here. So what I got so far, I have posted the latest junk journal, which let's see if I can move you out a little bit. There we go. I mean, it's all, this is the back. Of course, that's the front. It's all put together on the inside. And, these are nice deep pockets here and a tuck, but I'm going to have a smaller signature in here. And I might try to print out a how-to so somebody can sew their own signatures in once they use all this paperwork. Because, even that, they could probably even put their own journal in here and tie it together. And I actually call those, I sold one already, book nooks. I don't know if that's a thing anywhere, but I just thought it was a cute saying. So, but that's what I'm trying to fill right now. And it ended up with a really nice, like an Old West kind of thing going on. I don't know how that happened. Well, I happen to love the Old West decor and stuff, but let me get you centered here a little bit better. This thing sits a little crooked, drives me crazy. But I needed a paper clip because I took this little piece, got this old paper here. This is gonna be the cover of my signature, and use some old paper from some Amazon prints that I got. And then I got tons, and I still need to probably put those up, of antique printables or antique books and letters and everything. And this one here is from what is it? It is Chambers Journal from 1890. Yeah, it's heartbreaking ripping it up, but it's already falling apart. So I thought I'd just tap that in here so people can write on that. And I needed a paper clip, so here I am making a paper clip. I'm sure a lot of you have already done the paper clips, but you put it in like this. The small side is what you use to clip onto things. So you're wanting to fold over and cover this larger side here. And then you can wrap it around and just kind of wrap it under and kind of tighten it up. Or else you can just cut it short. I kind of like the look of the weaving, so to speak, weaving. Put that in there like that, and we're going to, since I kind of like this book part here showing, I think I'm going to cut that off right here. And just glue that like this. Yeah, every time I go for my glue, I end up knocking it over instead. Just put some glue down in there. Oh, let me guess, it's stopped up again. Yay. It usually is. Isn't it? Love how we all understand our glue woes. So what has everyone been doing? I've been busy doing this and keeping our greenhouse going. I kind of want to tighten that up a little bit, but it doesn't want to pull out now. So I guess I will just wing it. There we go. yeah, we've been trying to, this is our first winter with our greenhouse, so we've been trying to figure out how it likes to stay warm and how the humidity acts during our cold, cold winter nights. And oddly, I always thought greenhouses would stay super warm, but they do not. Or not super warm, but super humid, but they do not. So that's the thing we've been battling with the most, is keeping the humidity in check. So yeah, I'm not going to decorate this at all, since I'll already probably have one or two in there. This is just to keep this journal piece on. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing, is just trying to keep the greenhouse in check and figure out how to work it for next year and what we might need as far as ventilation and everything. So needless to say, I can't wait till spring. I'm not waiting for the winter to get harsh, or the summer to get too humid, but what are you gonna do? It happens. So, okay, there's the front. And I usually like to add some interesting things, like tucks, or something like that, to the inner part here, kind of like this. Yeah, why don't we do that? That looks good. We can cut it down there. Yeah, I do not like the humidity outside in the summer here. It gets super humid, and I just don't do well in humidity. My body does not regulate its temperature very well. So other than that, that's all I've been doing. So how many are you in the line of this big snowstorm coming up? We're kind of like in a weather dead zone, but they say that we might get about 7, 8, 9 inches, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. I always work on the lower side. Typically, I mean, doing weather, as long as I have, I'll take, like, they predict 12 inches of snow. I'll say, okay, we'll get 6. Yeah, let's get that on there. I get be cute on there like that. We'll have to grunge this up, but let's cut this down and make it a pocket, or make it a tuck. Yeah, I'm just roughing this stuff. I like my grunge, clearly, but I don't go overboard on my pages that I expect people to write on. All right, let's get this. Of course, this is the paper that's on the front cover. Forgive me, I don't know who it's by. I get so many digitals all the time, and my brain works so fast, I half the time can't even stop and think about who I'm using. But I use a lot of Stamperia. I'll get a lot of my paper. I'll get some from Simon Says Stamps. Off-brand Amazon papers. I'll also get quite a bit of papers from Etsy sellers selling digitals. Tracy Fox Creative, of course. Louisa Hensel just came out with that fantastic color book. The color book is amazing. Okay, I think I'm actually going to sew this. Well, I don't know, maybe not, because I want people to tuck in both pieces. So, I get a lot of Seven Plazas digitals. Oh gosh, there's so many more. House of Whimsy, I think it is. Digitals. I'm so bad at putting them down or remembering them. Okay, up there. I'll put that right there. Let that dry down. And then we'll decorate it. I already have quite a few of my other items decorated for this page. And I've got these two. These, of course, are Seven Plaza Margaret's. They're really cute. Haven't got to use them as much as I'd like. Let's see. Let's go with that. Don't want to use anything that's like too modern looking. The papers from inside. Use those pieces there. Let's get some little pieces of ephemera. Yeah, this, I call this my ephemera, or Tim Holtz ephemera tornado. Of course, I add to it myself as well. I mean, I make my own and add to it. But let's see what we can find in this treasure trove that will go with, like that Throwaway to Nottingham, but not on this page. I'll probably use it on another one. The Paris one might be cute. Let's find some other smaller ones in here. That one will work. I go with pure cotton there because I do have some fine ladies in there with, how about that class book? Kind of like that class book. Kind of go with the collar. Let's see, find something tiny in here. How about enclosure? Okay, let's see what we can do with that grungy lusciousness. Of course, we have to grunge it up even more. Oh, get back here. Yeah, I need to get on here and upload a little bit more. I just get, I think it's probably one of these things where I don't know how to just sit here and talk to myself, I suppose, although I'm talking to all you lovely peeps out there. And my brain's kind of all over the place. Total ADD brain. It's hard to pin it down whenever I'm not doing something like physical. I mean, I suppose this is physical, but y'all know what I mean. I love this paper here. I don't know, shout out, it might be Stamperia. Again, I'm so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so bad keeping all this chaos in one place in my brain. Okay. Go right here, kind of like, let's turn this upside down. Go right here. Glass book. Yeah, let's just start gluing this down here. Yeah, I just brought that stuff right on there. I don't get too fancy. Closer. Let's do this. I do want to grunge up this one though and make it look more 3D, and then I'll probably get, well, let's do this first. Get rid of all that white. Ugh. I'll probably put that right there, or probably up here. Let's go up there with it and put some I don't know, should we go with the black lace underneath it? Yeah, I think it'll work. This stuff just doesn't stick down like the other cloth does. Cheesecloth. Let me get my plenty of glue on there. Down, and then all this will go down. Yeah, I'm super messy with my glue today. It's like I'm drunk gluing or something. I don't know what it is. Put that down there, so. That. I don't know, maybe they're going to Nottingham. Just slot that in there. Yeah, I'll put tickets in there whenever I'm done. So there we go for that one. Cover. I like having a lot of writing space for people. If you put too much glue and do too many things, these pages, as far as ink and glues and stuff like that, your pens just won't work. So I'll grunge the papers and do the tea dyes, the coffee dyes. I'm getting ready to go get some rusty bolts and stuff that my late husband had to do some rust water and bolts and whatnot. Some more writing space there. Yeah, he's got buckets full out in one of our sheds, so I can put those to use. Except right now it's too dang cold to walk out there. All right. Let's put something on this page. What should we do? We've got more of these papers here. Love this one. I might step away and go cut this one to size so it can go on there. These are double-sided. Whenever I step away, I'll grab the book so you guys know what they are. And then, of course, my pencil walked away again. Never mind, I'll use my pen. You measure this. And right here. Okay, crafter. Okay, these come, this one here is Amazon. Scrapbook, paper pad, vintage Gothic. Pencilplayground.com. Pretty interesting papers. I mean, they're kind of, they have a waxy thing going on. Well, let's see. Okay, belly band this. Let's see what should we put in the middle. Oh, excuse my dog. My son is finally home. Yeah, I think we're going to do a belly band on this one here. But I just need to find a backing for this one. So we'll move on to the next one there. Let's get this all grunged up on the edges. I'm going to actually grunge over the thread so you can't see the white paper through it. This paper does have a white core. Never tried to do anything on it, like rubbing it off or whatnot, but and we're gonna pull this thread here. Pull those threads through real good. Add a little bit of glue. Just rub that in. There we go. Let's go with, yeah, this is like fragile, this paper. Let's see if I got anything pre-made. There we go, building something else here. How about we put a bird or something on that? Because I do believe, since it's taken a look at an Old West, there is a very famous saloon and brothel in Tombstone, Arizona, that was around since the OK Corral, called the Birdcage. What I'm really missing is Tony, Crafty by Tony's black and white striped, because it matches the ribbons that's in the book. Would love to have some of her black and white striped washi tape right now, but it doesn't ship to the US. So I think maybe we'll do this. Okay, we're gonna play with fire. Keep those darn I think it'd be cute. Put that right across there. All right, let's build this one. Let's build this cluster. Yeah, I don't use a whole lot of washi tape. I like hers because, I mean, she just knows that design, the right design. I mean, I've got probably 100 different washi tapes, but not one is ever the right one. I do have a few of hers before they had to stop shipping here. Make those edges look a little bit more burnt than. Ugh, I have no fingernails right now. Who am I kidding? I never have fingernails. I try. And then I work with all this stuff and it just doesn't stick. It comes off too easy. There's that. Ooh, of course. Oh Lord. Maybe we'll do this. This all grungy. Love me grunge. Why don't we do this? This. This, and then we'll make it to where we can just stick that in there. And probably need something a little bit more sturdy to go underneath that. I use the rest of this file folder up. This junk journal is made out of one file folder, or two. No, two. I think it's made of two. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to just set that on there. And then we'll be set that out there so we can get a glimpse of it before it dries. Actually, I think I want this to go down first. Okay, this side, I'm just gluing this side over here. So we can stuff that ticket in there to make it part of the cluster. And then we only want to glue this one to the card. And the ticket we can just stick in there like that. And we'll bend this butterfly a little bit so it's sticking up some. And we'll need some more cluster. I'll stick this right there. Let's find another. Papers. Window shades. These are off of the insert envelope. Here's Tim Holtz. No shades. Tutte Petty. Down here. And then we're going to get some cheesecloth. And I need to do some more cheesecloth because I do not like how the collar came out in this last batch. I don't know. I'm totally handicapped whenever it comes to color theory and working with cheesecloth and dyeing cheesecloth. Completely horrible at it. So we're going to, probably should have sanded that down a little bit. We stuck on there. Just put that there. And here will be our anchor. Because this old paper is way too brittle to handle anything like that. So put our anchor paper down. Tink. Bring our signature over here. There we go. We're going to make sure that we got plenty of glue. On this, since I'm not sewing it on. This glue dries clear, so. Slip that in there. Yeah, so it looks chunkier than what it appears from the offset, but I'm thinking we need probably something else right here. Let's break out our Tim stash here. I do have some of my own little pieces in here that I make too. But his are usually the tiny ones, are usually the really cute ones that work out better. Here's like a little letter. I'm not keen on the collar. I'm gonna go on there. Can do root. I mean, there's not much travel stuff in here, but put some of the antique tape on there. That tape actually came off of an old shipping letter from my late husband's grandfather. Let's see. Don't want to keep you hanging without me doing anything here. I'm just not finding exactly what I want. Has to be about the right size. I do seriously like root on there though. Put root up here. Down on that. That's kind of cool. Let's do that. It's kind of rough. Root. I gotta get a lot of glue on this because the fibers try to split away from the actual glue. So I don't care if the glue actually squeegees and shows through because I need to get it through these old fibers. Yeah, I like using as many old antiques as possible. Okay, now this is kind of like a hodgepodge. We got a root, we got windows and shades, we got something for Petty, a ticket, admit one. I think that will work. Put this away. And they can write on the back of that because it's stiff enough. And then here's an antique Sears catalog page. More writing space, and then the back cover. Of course, I'll be filling this as well with a whole bunch of antique pieces. So let's go ahead and let me move you out. Put that in there before we sew it together. In here I actually have, I don't know, I actually have, this is an actual letter wrote by a student from Ohio that was in college. It's probably 80 years old now. So I got an antique in there. So we're gonna close this up. And you'll be feeding these through the holes here. So I'm not really thrilled about the more tedious construction like that, but whenever it is tied up, it's like super cute. And people can actually just change, you know, change that if they want. So, and they'll have all their pockets. I'll have to fill all these. Then they'll have their signature. Again, I kept this one in the plastic because it's super old too. It's a 1 cent stamp, seriously. And I'll probably put more antiques in here. I'll have a couple more paper clips, antique paper clips, writing space. I might add 2 or 3 more papers. This one's kind of hodgepodge. Don't really like the configuration of that. Of course, we have, this is also an old antique in here. Another old postcard with old catalog. And I have somewhere around here I have no idea where they went. I have tags that I made that goes in here, but they seem to just decided they didn't want to be part of the project and just walked off into my mess somewhere. But yeah, they're around here. I'll probably add some more words. And then I've got some more clusters I'd like to put in there. And more cards and stuff. So, but that's what I got so far. Putting a couple clusters together and a smallish flip through on this and what I've been up to lately. I'll try to get back to more filming and more actual projects and stuff. So, but it was nice. It was nice to film. I'm kind of, like I said, my brain's kind of lost in like, what do I do next here? But I just wanted to get on here and do a couple little things with you guys and kind of show you where I'm at so far on this piece here. I'd imagine, I'm thinking this one will probably go up for sale next week, because we're in line to get about 10 inches of snow. And we live, our driveway is like a little less than a quarter mile long. So we'll have to get it plowed, and it's just going to be, I think it's going to be kind of like crippling until at least midweek next week. And then this one here will go up on Blue Bottle, Jewels and Mercantile on Etsy. So, but it was nice to hang with you guys again. And I promise I'll get better. So, bye-bye.